152 of Reality of Wrestling. Check the link below. Take a look at it for yourself. I like the show, but I would have liked a build for the main event. Now I'll explain the rest of the show. I understand that the Boogeyman does appear periodically on Reality of Wrestling, and we got a jobber of Brock Baker. I kind of think he was kind of a bite off of Brock Lesnar. Did not have a match. He got his ass handed to him, but whatever he was using on his hand, whatever that was a little too sharp, because when he grabbed that jobber and took him up and slammed him to the ground, he cut open his skin a little bit with those claws or whatever it was. I think the Boogeyman needs to consider not using that. You don't hurt the jobbers like that. As even if it's in a minor promotion, or in this case, a really minor promotion that really needs more. I don't want to see people get hurt like that with those type of gimmick things like gloves or any type of sharp objects like Edward Scissorhand kind of crap. But this is just my point of view of that. You guys can tell me if you don't care, you don't mind seeing a little bit of blood. Just tell me. Miranda, Kylie Ray, and what's the woman's name? Kion. Or Keon. I didn't get a chance to really catch her name last week. I think her name is Keon. That might be it. I like her. Only problem is, I keep looking at the Reality of Wrestling website and I only see 2 women on the roster. You start showing Miranda and she's been there as a staple almost. Why can't you put her on the website? You see now Kion. She's now back. Can't you do something special on the website saying women that have returned that we're really ready to see something from? Miranda and Keon. But why? Why can't you do that, Booker T? I know you're busy with WWE and I know you don't have the staff to generally do it, but find a third party to do this for you. Tell them, I need you to put this on there. You pay them a little bit. Something. And then here's the problem for me when it comes to Kylie Ray. I can't stand her persona as a little kid. It just does not work. She's not Bayley. I'm not saying Bayley looks like a kid. Look, when it comes to it, the most youngest looking person they have on the roster of WWE is Alexa Bliss. She looks like an 18-year-old that you just want to marry and have tons of children with. Well, for me, I wouldn't have tons of children. I'd rather just be with her for the rest of my life. I'm that kind of person. I'm selfish. But anyway, she looks like a kid. Kylie Ray, 1, does not look like a kid. 2, she doesn't sound like a kid. 3, she's not acting like a kid. She's acting like a stupid kid. Someone who's like 16, 17, or 18 years old trying to act like a 9-year-old. And it just doesn't fit because she looks too old. I mean, there are moments when girls can act young and can play it very well. If they do it right, she keeps wearing the same clothes. She doesn't look like a little girl. She dressed like a little girl periodically. It would make sense and it would go with her character. But she's dressing the same. She's acting like a kid and it just doesn't work for me. Here's another person that the persona does not work. Brian Keefe, the bounty hunter, dealing with Lomac. And Hendrix dealing with Lomac. The little promo they had. Just, look. I think Lomac should do something by himself without Legion. Because, honestly, even though he fits in Legion, he's the only one of Legion that's being shown. This isn't the first time we've seen Lomac. I think in the last 6 months, I've seen him like 5 or 6 times. I could be wrong. It could be between 4 to 6. But I think it's about 6. You guys can tell me below if you remember. And I'd rather see Lomac than Hendrix or any of the others from Legion because he's been shown the most. Why not show more of his character? Why not let him go off on his own? Let him destroy Legion and say, I'm sick of you, you're dragging me down. And then when it comes to Brian Keefe, I want to see him come out like Dirty Harry. I want to see him come out like the Pale Rider of 1984. He just comes out cold, calculating. Once he gets into that ring, he can be more animated. But going to the ring, seeing that, smiling and screaming just does not work for me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. He doesn't fit a bounty hunter. A bounty hunter doesn't act like that. He acts like that when he has his prey in the ring or when he's after a bounty. Then he becomes animated. He's cold and calculating until he comes to the ring. And then he acts animated when the guy's in front of him like he's about to tear him a new one. Now Lomac won, which I'm glad he did. He should win because Brian Keefe's character sucks. Now, does it mean he has bad ring work? No. He has better ring work than Lomac. Lomac is still a bit green, I believe. But his character just doesn't call me. I'm sorry. Bartek segment. Still talking about doing the tag thing. And the interviewer pretty much said, is this a breakup? Unless this is a setup for him to really destroy Cameron Cole, it kind of feels a bit of a waste. The next thing that's a waste. Gino. I really would love, if I could meet Booker T, I would come to him and say, Booker T, if I can, not in a WWE capacity, but a reality of wrestling capacity, and him with Charmel, and I would go to them and say, dude, I love your product. I do believe you got something great here. But you got someone who's just too young to hold the most prestigious title of your company. I don't care if he's a relative of someone who once wrestled, a second generation wrestler, or a relative of a first or second generation wrestler. He doesn't have it. If you've been trying to teach him to at least do interviews where even though he is supposed to look to a certain extent to the interviewer, he's supposed to look at the freaking camera more than the interviewer. How are you, as a wrestler, and if you guys know wrestlers, ask them this question. If they've been in a minor promotion or a major promotion, I don't care. You're supposed to understand when you're in front of the camera. You're supposed to play to the camera. You're supposed to show your emotion to the camera. You're supposed to let the camera understand and relay your feelings to the spectators that will be coming to the arena, or in this case, World's Gym, to watch the product, to buy tickets for the product, to watch the pay-per-views, to buy tickets or to buy the pay-per-view so you will make money. This guy does not get it. Even his catchphrase of Gino, Manino, Catino, El Capione, if that's even it, he's saying it to the freaking interviewer instead of turning his head to the camera and then relaying, I am Gino, Malino, Catino, El Capione. You get my point now. I relayed more in this little moment of this review than he has in every single interview I've ever seen. And the guy's holding the fucking title. I just don't get it from Booker T. I'm sorry. No matter if he's paid Booker T to hold the title, if he's a relative of someone that Booker T owed a favor to, it is not worth holding that title. It is not worth having him as champ. I'm sorry. Anyone, give me a reason why he should be. Now, let me see. Am I forgetting anything? If I am, I'm sorry. Rex Andrews versus ACH. The problem I had about this is that this was out of the Legion match. I mean, with Lomac and Brian Keefe, was a good match. But this basically was the best match. Of course, you only had 2 matches for the show, but it's not the point. The point is that match quality for this was far superior to the other one. It just was. And there was no build to it. Now, I can understand if ACH doesn't really have a contract with Reality of Wrestling. He only has a temporary time there. But you could have built this up. He could have done pre-tapings before this situation with Rex Andrews. Build it up for at least a month, not 2 weeks. This is one of the problems. And when it came to ACH talking with tempo. Why did I see WWE's chat? You're seeing it dead in my face right now. Why am I seeing WWE chairs instead of reality of wrestling chairs? Booker T, come on, man. 2 chairs. You can't go to a manufacturer, produce about 50 chairs, about a couple of $100, I guess, to produce a reality of wrestling chair that would be used for the talent wherever they sit. This just doesn't look right. Taking extras from the WWE that they didn't need doesn't make your company look good. But taking away from that, this was an excellent match. When it came to ACH, he did very well. You're probably seeing some of the scenes of what he did. And then Rex Andrews, who doesn't seem to be really a high flyer, but he did pull off some very nice moves, particularly rolling into the ring and then giving a nice clothesline. In the end, Rex Andrews wins. Now, my question is this, and you guys can answer this for me. Do you believe Rex Andrews is going after the Reality of Wrestling heavyweight title? It seems like they're trying to set this up before what's about to happen for the John Studd facing the Gino. Or if they're slating Gino going up against John Studd and John Studd losing because Gino has to win because he's got to face Rex Andrews, what do you think about that? Tell me below. And I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Please give me, well, Reality of Wrestling on Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. I will be getting my SmackDown review if I can get a stream because of the weather. I've been getting really glitchy streams. I guess it's the internet around here. It's not doing so well with the cold. Have a good day. Have a good night.